or raise hands so that we can have that hands-on practical. The one thing I wanted to clear from you that whether you have the software on your PC, laptop, or in online mode, if you are going for, right? So let me know that how many members have this particular software. Otherwise, I can change my these sessions into interactive sessions, but not in hands-on practical. Because when we are going for hands-on practical, you need to know exactly what happens installations process. Then you have to interact with the software and you have to do whatever process we have for mining. So we have to take different kinds of data sets. We have to collect different online data sources, right? And we can have our own data sets which is available as standalone format. So now let me know. I'll put one questions as I have already used Menti, right? So we can go for a Menti pulled out because we have a 20 participants till now. Let me, because I know the maximum participants are more than 50. So let them join till now. Just I'll have one poll so that you can go for giving your remarks that we have a software right now. And in this software, we can go for hands-on practical. So anyone can give your remarks that I want to change this, what do you call, questions. Last sessions, we have done this, interactive sessions. Now I'm going to have this question, right? You have to tell yes or no, or you can give your remarks that I have installed or not installed, right? Or I am having Weka software right now, or I don't have a Weka software right. So do you have the Weka software? Do you have the Weka software? It's getting slow, okay. Yes. Now I'm going to change this. As I told, I can share this link to my co-host so that he can share. Sir Banerjee, sir, will you help me? Because I'm not admin on this group. I'll share with your personal.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So please share this same link.
You send me, sir. I will share it.
Yes. Already I have shared. So participants, please check it and give your remarks over here. So I have to clear this data also, previous data. Just a minute.
మేడం మీకు లింక్ పంపిస్తున్నాను అది ఓపెన్ అవుతుందో చూడండి.
Sir, you can open also. You can check it and you can give your response also. No problem. Banerjee sir, you can see your mobile and you can open this. Because I'm taking a little bit time because 24 participants are there still now. So once we'll have that 50, more than 50 participants, then I can start. I can quickly jump to the session. Yes, I request all the participants, please join. Okay, someone has given no. We will see how many no's and how many yes they have. Because at least it should be at 5. Okay. Okay. Yes. So 4 responses. Yes, I'm getting responses. Yes, anyone? You can give your yes, no reply, no problem. So that I can find out that someone has having this particular. Otherwise, you can have installations also. Meanwhile, it takes a little bit 5 to 10 minutes. It can be if you are acquainted with software installations a little bit. It's not tough to install. You can easily install this particular software. And I'll share this link also because I'm not getting so much responses from here, either no or yes. There are 23 participants, but I am getting only 4 responses over here. So you can give. There is no first rule that you must have software now because we are we are busy with other tasks also. It's not problem. But actually, I wanted to know how many have. At least if one is there, so I can interact with him while I'm going on hands-on. And if it is completely no also answers, I have the techniques to complete this sessions also. Don't worry. Yes, ball, bat, cricket, everything is coming, but the response is not coming yes and no. Yes, you gave any kind of, but at least I should know who is having this particular software with you. And here is some charts. I don't know whether this responses you have. Okay, sir has shared this link. Please. Okay, sir. Without wasting time, we will start because I'm not getting right responses from the participants. Because someone has given no, or how many members have given no, but yes reply is not created. Okay, let it be. That is not a problem.
You better to start, sir.
Yes, sir. So must go on. We should not waste time for this particular things. So I'll stop this session. This what you call polling systems. So I'll switch over to this particular presentation part, right? So now in this presentation, so we'll have Weka. As I told, we have this content and what is Weka? The Explorer. That is under the Explorer, you will have Weka functionalities, right? Different pre-processing. Already we have done pre-processing, classification, clustering, association rule, attribute selection, data visualization, and a few reference and resources. Now this is our agenda in this particular session. What is Weka? Weka is a environment for knowledge analysis. A university from New Zealand, right? They have developed this particular Weka software. It is a data mining and machine learning tools developed by Department of Computer Science, University of Weka, New Zealand. So in New Zealand, this university has developed the Department of Computer Science professors. They have developed this particular software for data mining functionality to use different kinds of data mining functionalities they have developed. Weka is also a bird founded by founded only on the islands of the New Zealand. So This is a national bird of New Zealand, Weka. So named this particular software named before this particular national bird, Weka of New Zealand. So we can move to this. Here is a website link. You can go through the Google search engine and you can download different kinds of Weka versions for your different operating systems. If you are using Windows, if you are using OS or Linux environment, different environment, you can have a different types of setups of Weka software. So if you are using, most probably you might have used or you are using Windows. If you are going for Windows, it is very easy. Just go through the search engine, Google search engine, type Weka software download. Already, I think here I have already shown you in this particular. See, no, this is this slide. Okay, I'll show you another slide. I have shown you. Now Weka, you can see here. So is it visible to you? Check it. I have randomly, I have searched in Google. Just I'll go back. You can see. This is the preliminary stage. You have to know where we can get the Weka software and how to install it. So it is very easy to install. So now Weka software downloaded. So now you can go for the second options also. First option, any options you can go. So I'm clicking on second option. So from that, you can go for Weka software. If you are going to install now also in your PC, that's okay. It takes only 5 to 10 minutes. So now you can go for download for Windows. So different versions you have. Now this is 3.9.6 versions. You can go for Weka. Small file, it can be installed quickly. And there is no critical process of installation, right? So you can have a better vertical installation process while we are installing the Weka. So far, now these are the main features of Weka. We can go for Weka. If anyone has installed or you are going to install it now, you let me know in the chat box so that I can interact with him and I can tell him what are the different technical aspects you have to go for. And if you are not having this particular software, you can see and you can ask me questions, several questions. I'll try to convince you in the oral meeting, right? So there is no problem. So main features of Weka. Now, if you'll see the total features and facilities provided by the Weka software, so you can find out now 49 data pre-processing tools. Now, what is data pre-processing? At the beginning sessions, we have seen what is data pre-processing. We have different kinds of error-nudge data. So while we are collecting data, there may be so many problems in the data sets. So you have to eradicate different types of problems. What are the inconsistencies, data, void data, missing data, different kinds of data disturbances will be there while you are collecting different types of data from different sources from the external part, right? Now, if you are going for deep pre-processing on data, so it will be very clear to use or it is very convenient to use at the later stage when we are going for different analysis. Now, there are 49 techniques. There are 49 data pre-processing tools, techniques available for Weka, which helps to pre-process the data. That we have to see in this subsequent slides. We can see. The next second main features is 76 classification. It's a huge amount of classification rules over here. Now, if you want to categorize the data, if you want to make a separations of data, if you want to go for classifications of data, there are 76 algorithms are applied or it is already inbuilt in this particular software. Now, check it. 76 means you can see a list of 76 algorithms. That means a huge amount of resources we are getting to make a classification and the regressions on your data. That will be provided by Weka instant, right? The next part is 8 clustering algorithms. As I told, clustering is a unsupervised learning. Classification is a supervised learning. Now, when we are going for clustering techniques, 8 clustering algorithms are available for Weka. So you can easily use any kind of clustering techniques. Then you can apply in your data sets and you can make the groups. Now, researchers, students, and those who are attending this particular FDP, you should know what is the need of a classification and what is the need of clustering. Both the target is similar. The target, the intended is similar, but where we can use classification, where we can go for regression, where we can go for clustering, that is your part, that is your one side you have to concentrate. Otherwise, it will be a problem for your data mining processes, right? So now you have to see what is classification. If we have a scientific rules, we have a model, we have a what I call method or patterns or a formula, scientific formula, then easily we can separate the data sets. So we call it classification. So classification model will classify the data. And already we have discussed deeply in the sessions, the last session. And when we are going for randomly grouping the data with respect to the similarities, some kinds of similar kinds of behavior on data, that time we are straightforward, we are going to make the groups that is cluster, right? So cluster is unsupervised learning, which is not capable to handle the different kinds of particular scientific rules like classifications, right? So here the main importance is we have a 76 classification algorithms and we have 8 clustering algorithms. Now, when you are going for a scientific, that means a supervised learning, and when we are going for unsupervised learning, that time several algorithms will help you. And Weka is providing 76 for supervised learning and 8 is unsupervised learning. In different sense, I can talk it. So 8 clustering and 76 classifications. So this is the main features of Weka. Next, we'll have 3 algorithms for finding association. In the association rule, also we have this. Just a minute. In the association rule, what does it do actually? We have to find out the associations between 2 or more items, right? That time we have seen support, confidence, right? These are the leaps also we have seen. Now, especially in retail marketing management, they used to have what you call market basket analysis, right? That is association rule binding examples. So there are so many algorithms are there which supports for association rule binding. So here Weka also provides 3 kinds of algorithms which can be used for association rule binding. These are all functionalities. These are all techniques we are using for data mining. And the last one, we have a 15 attribute or subset evaluators and plus 10 such algorithms for feature selection. So already we have seen feature selections. That means attribute selections. That means we can go for selecting main attributes, main field of our data sets, right? So which attributes will helpful for your intended target, intended results, that can be find out, and all unnecessary attributes must be eradicated or removed from your main data set, so that you can concentrate on the main attributes, the selected attributes, which helpful for your result analysis. We should not concentrate on the attributes which is not at all depend or influence your target result, right or not? So that techniques also we can have a 15 attribute or selections techniques we have, algorithms we have, and 10 such algorithms, attribute selection algorithms that can be used for our data mining. This is very important to know about your Weka. What Weka can use or what type of algorithms it can be already inbuilt in the Weka software. These are the details in brief. I think it is clear. If any doubts, you can raise your questions. No. Next, we can go for Weka GUI. As we know, GUI is graphical user interface. Now, this Weka is famous for it is more user friendly because of it has the capabilities of GUI, graphical user interface. That means the user, the researcher, the students can interact with software through GUI based graphical user interface, which is very user friendly in nature. Normally, if you are going for command based, if you are going for script based, right, it will be a little bit difficult. And normally the users, normally the learners, they hesitate to write the code, the script, the what you call a syntax, right? And it is too difficult to remember all types of syntax. I'll show you in this particular, we have what you call command also. We have some scripts also, which can help you for mining the data source. Now, it is basically, we use GUI format. There are three graphical user interface. That is, one is Explorer. That options I'll show you. Explorer. When you will install the Weka, the first options you will have Explorer. So exploratory data analysis you can go for through GUI-based. The next is experimenter. That means experimental environment you will have. Also, it is based on the GUI you can use. And next is knowledge flow, which can be used for designing the knowledge databases. So you can use new process model over here, which can be used through graphical user interface, that is GUI. So these are the main part consist in our all features of your GUI, the main part. Why Weka is more user-friendly? Because of this particular features, that is GUI features, Explorer, experimental, and knowledge flow. We have a CLI, command line interface. So that it is not mentioned because it is GUI. So that is command based. Okay. So I think this is clear. So if you want to make more clarity on this particular, the whole software is divided into GUI and another one is non-GUI. We call command line interface. So as far you can see here, simple CLI it is there, Explorer is there, experiment this in the small image you can see. I can show you next page. We'll have this particular page also. We can have detail on this. So now Explorer, under Explorer, you will have several options: preprocessing, classification, clustering, association, attribute selections, and data visualizations. All these are what we call GUI based, not command based, right? Which will be easy to understand. In Explorer, you will find that Explorer is one options of Weka, which consists of several data mining functionality tasks. Preprocessing is one of them. So pre-processing the data can be imported from a file in various format, ARFF file, right? That is an extension. When we are creating different types of datasets file, right? So that time we can have different extensions. What is extensions actually? Those who have a computer background, they can understand easily. But those who are a non-computer background, so they will have some doubts on that. So we have in our family, we have surname, right? We have a name format. We have a different kinds of naming conventions in different religions they have. So if you think about, for example, in our Hinduism, and we have a different kinds of castes, and we have a different category of peoples on that, they have a different kinds of naming conventions while they are giving the name to the newborn baby, right? So that time they have suppose my name is Sushant Kumar Nayak. So Nayak is my family name, right? That is surname, right? And my name, first name is Sushant. And we can put some Kumar that everybody says Kumar is my middle name, but it is not a middle name because our side, our region side, they used to give every name, they used to keep Kumar and Kumari or something like that. So it is not middle name, but whereas if you'll see in the south side, they have a middle in this, that will be the father's name, they can have a middle name like this. These are all conventions. Out of it, we can get one thing is, you can find out which family this particular person is belongs to. That means I'm a person who belongs to the Nayak's family. My father, my grandfather, their fathers, they belongs to Nayak families, right? So this is a family extensions. We have a family name. We have by fetching this particular family name, we can find out which type of data it is coming from. Now, which type of person he is belongs to, right? Which family he belongs to. So we can find out. Similarly, every data set or every file you have some extensions will have. You might have come across like you have a DOS document DOC, right? You have an XLS file, Excel file. You have a DB file, .db extensions, right? You have a PDF file, extension PDF. You have a bitmap file, the image file. You have a JPG file, that is extension JPG. Similarly, we have a RF file. It's a kind of a dataset file. we have a CSV file, comma separated file. So comma separated versions file. So you will have, this is also one kind of a file format. You can have a C4.5 binary file, database file, any kind of a file. You can see the extension, that extension you can see, and we can fetch what type of file it is. Now, normally in Weka, you will find different extensions file, RF file, ARFF file, CSV file, C4.5 binary, then DB file also can be used. So that means we can use n number of files. And if you have other than this file extension, what we'll do? Normally we used to have XLS file. That means we have Excel file. So that Excel file, how we can use in Weka, we have an options to convert into the RF file or CSV file. That is also provided by Weka also. Or you can go for online, that is conversions, or you can convert a Word file to PDF file to Word file. Similarly, you can convert any file format to any file format. As per your requirements, you can go for converting this. Clear or not? So now this is how the file extensions we need when we are going for using, or when we are going for taking this help of Weka. So Weka will support all this type of file which is mentioned over here. Data can also be read from the URL. URL means you have a websites. Through websites, we can get directly data. We can fetch the data from different URLs, right? Universal resource locator, that means URL, that is websites. So websites, we can fetch the data and we can upload in the Weka software, and we can go for analysis mining. Then we can take the data also from SQL database using JDBC connection. Now, SQL database means database file, DB file. We can go for any SQL structure query languages file, right? So we can take any scripts or any file, we can merge with our vertical pre-processing environment through Weka software. So we have abundant facilities over here to access any type of files. As some faculty members, some researchers, they used to interact with me. They used to ask any type of file we can. Yes, obviously you can use any type of files over here, but you have to see if it is the extension file like ARFF file, CSV file, it will be more convenient. And if at all you don't have this particular extension file, you just convert it the file and you can make. That is the simplest way you can use any type of files of it. So now next is pre-processing tools in Weka are called filters. Now what is filters? You might have seen in Excel filters. We normally do the filtering process. Sorry for that, because here in Paralakamandi it is very hot and we are getting very much some problem with hearts. So frequently I used to have water. Sorry for that, right? So don't take in other sense. Right? I used to have some water every moment. So I don't know whether in your place, if you are other part of the areas, so what is your temperature here? What is the climate here? I don't know. You can share with this file also, that interactive websites also. We'll take later. We'll have. Okay. So sorry for this. In between, I am taking water. Okay, let it go. Now we are in that processing tools. Weka are called filters. What is filters? Now, sometimes what happens, very simple way we can filter the data. For example, we have student data, and suppose students, those who have appeared the examination, those who have already qualified the examinations, immediately we can put the filters in Excel and we can select, deselect the options accordingly. We'll have a certain value, right or not? So filtering will help you to make a different subsets of whole data sets, right? So similarly, Weka also help to make some pre-processing, right? We have a 72 pre-processing algorithms, techniques, which helps to make a pre-processing that is similar to the filtering options. That means some of the filtering options we have in different tools that can be indirectly we can use that type of things in Weka through pre-processing. So when I'll ask, or when anybody asks that what is pre-processing in Weka, you can give only one word answer. Pre-processing in Weka is filtering process, right? Filtering. What is filtering? Everybody knows. What is filters? Everybody knows. So the filtering options, what we are using in different tools, it is a similar kind of things in Weka, which is called pre-process. I think it is clear. So now Weka contains filters for discretization. What is discretization? Discretization. Already I have explained in pre-processing in critical sessions. Now, discretization means we have data contiguous. We have what you call a series of data. That time when we need to make a a group of data, right? For example, we have age and we have a capacity of drinking water per day. Now we have various what I call data. We have age 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. All thousands what I call human beings, they have a capacity of drinking, right, per day. How much water they can consume or they can have, right? So here, instead of going for one age, we can go for a range of data sets, right? So 1 to 10 years, how many frequencies will come? 10 to 15, how many frequencies will come? That is frequency distributions you might have studied in statistical analysis. So that time we are using discretizations of data. So we are making a label, we are making a group or range of data, and we are finding the frequencies over. So that time we are using discretization techniques. Here also, we can go for discretization. Instead of a single or scalar value, we can go for a range of values. Then we'll have a normalization, right? So normalizations, as I told, and the last session, so one faculty member he has asked, raised the questions. Normalizations, I told. So normalizations means here every kind of inconsistencies on data, we can go for consistency. And whenever we'll have a different kinds of anomalies, we have to eradicate the anomalies from the data sets. So what are the different types of anomalies? I told 3 types of anomalies we have. One is insertion anomalies, deletion anomalies, and obdation anomalies. Anomalies means issues while creating the records, issues while modifying the records, and issues while deleting the records for any values, right? So if we are having this type of problems, we have to eradicate different kinds of anomalies to make our database consistent. And we have different kinds of normalizations process as database management is concerned. We have 6 types of normal forms, like the first NF, second NF, third NF, fourth NF, VCNF. Then we have a 50 NF, like this 6 normal forms we have. And each and every normal form in the normalization process, we have a different kinds of tasks over here. Like we are going for a first normal form, that is atomicity. Second normal form, we are going for primary key and dependency. Then third normal form, we are going for transitive dependency. Then we are going for BCNF, transitive relationship. If we are eradicating, still we have a candidate influences. So that is BCNF. Then if you are going for multiple dependency, we can go for fourth as well. Right? So now these are called the normalization aspects in databases. Then we can go for resampling. That's a very important for the researchers. Now, sometimes what happens if you are going for empirical studies, if it is not a scientific studies, but if you are going for empirical studies in your research, that time there is obvious, sometimes we can go for resampling the techniques. What is sampling? What is actually samples? What does it mean, the sample? Sample is a kind of subsets of whole data sets which infer it can infer something, right? So it may some conclusion, it may help to make finalize something that we call sample. So sample is a subset. Now, for example, total in, suppose if you take assume in Centurion University, we have university we have, for example, 15,000 students we have, for example, assume. Now, if you are going for any particular decision that you have to collect data from the different respondents, like our respondent is students. So that time you are going for 15,000 students to each and every students, from each and every remarks you have to collect feedback from all students. No, it is too difficult, because when we have the large populations, that time we can go for sample. So sample means we have a different kinds of sampling techniques. We have a random sampling techniques. We have a stratified sampling techniques. We have different kinds of sampling techniques. If you go for searching in the Google, you will find a number of tens or hundreds of sampling techniques we have. Out of which is convenient for one is convenient sampling also. Remember. So we have a convenient sampling also. We can go for our convenience. We can go for a sample size. So sample means we have to take a subset of a data set which can inform the total population. So total population is here 15,000. Now, if I'm drawing a decision that all Centurion students are skillful students, that must be verified through the students' skills. So whether I can go for 15 students' skills or how much students I can take so that it can inform to the total 15 students, 15,000 students. That is called sampling. Everybody knows, right or not? Now, what is resampling then? Now, if I'm taking sampling as per the 15,000, I can show you in the net. So you can go for, if you have interested on the sampling and the resampling, I can show you. So you can go for here. I can mention one sampling technique, sampling calculator. So you can have that also. In your mind, you can generate different questions, but we don't have the research methodology over here. Just for your understanding, I'm showing sampling sample size calculator. Yes, very good. So now you can go for any particular. Now we can go for random. I'm just going for random because you have to decide which type of sampling techniques you are using in your research, and you can find out accordingly the sample size. So now here, confidence level, margin level errors, then populations, then you have a population size. So if you can put population size, for example, 15,000, as I told in Centurion University, we are going for assuming that is 15,000. Out of 15,000, we should take for how much? 375 students remarks. That is the ideal sample size. Now, 375 students can give their opinion, feedback, which can be used for total 15,000 students. So on behalf of 15,000 students, the 375 students is enough. That means remarks of the 375 students remarks is enough for concluding the decisions of 15,000 students. I think this is clear. So I should not go for more discussion because we'll left behind of all this Weka functionality. I think this is clear. This is just I'm giving an example to clear your doubts. What is now, for example, this 375 students remarks is not sufficient for getting the total output of our 15,000 students. It cannot infer, right? It cannot conclude. Now, what I can do, I can change the sample size. Sometimes I can make more, I can make less. Now, suppose if my confidence level is 98%, what would be the sample size here? I have taken 95. Now, see, confidence level is 98. We are going towards more critical thinking, right? So now we have to take more sample size here. If I'll make here flexible, now instead of 95, I can go for 90. So now my sample size is become less. Now the confidence level, how much confidence level we are working. Suppose I'll tell today it will be heavy rain at 6 o'clock. That is my confidence is 90%. And my confidence is 98%. That means it is near to 100. That means definitely there will be rain. So that depends on the confidence level. The sample size varies. Even if margin errors also, how much margin you can tolerate, how much margins you can adjust it, right? 5%. If here and there 5% options results is going here and there, that can be accepted. Like you might have come across in your plagiarism report, right? When you are publishing the research paper. So how much the copy paste things can be done, that can be seen through like 10% or 5%, depends on the different what I call review standards, right? So we can go for that is margin errors. If something error scores 5%, that can be accepted. Less than 5%, it can be accepted. but more than 5% it cannot be accepted. This is about your sampling and resampling technique. I should not waste more time on this, but you can you know this better, and you can go for further discussions if we have time. Then we can go for attribute selections. As I told, sometimes we will have minimum influences on your intended results. Sometimes the fields. So, for example, I'll give clarity. Suppose you have a student information. On student information, one column is there investment. For example, student investment. So why? Because the parents has invested so many things on them, right? Like suppose a boy student or a girl student, right? So they have future, they have suppose a higher education, they need more money. So they have invested so many things, right? On LIC, mutual fund, they have. But really, this data is required for our placement. You tell me, anyone? Is it required for our placement? But it is still is there in our database. Still, it is there in student database, because some extent we can find out what is the intention. After this particular education, he is going to marry, or there is a marriage proposal, because girl students, they are, it is, I'm not giving 100%, but it is obviously from the parent side, they have to see that there should be a marriage proposal. We have to invest so many financial support we have to give, like this. So that's why they have invested. And the data is there in the student databases, for example. But there is nowhere we can use this investment, whatever the students have invested or the parents has invested, okay, for financial support in the future. There is that particular attribute, that particular field is not going to hamper to predict, or when we are going for predictions of our highest package of salary, those who are getting a placement through. So that is not required, right? So that time, that unnecessary column must be eradicated. That unnecessary attribute must be removed from our existing data set. So that is how attribute selection is very important when we are going for pre-process. Transforming data transformations, I told. So we have to see the transformation change of data. So now sometimes we have to see the lookup data. Lookup data means what? Normally we see the data types, data size, data particular clarity. Okay, with respect to different particular attributes, we can see, and there should be a transformation. There should be a change of data when it is moving to one place to another place. For example, in database, we are using data with 2D format. But when we are using data mining, that time we are going for 3D data or multi-D data, multi-dimensional. When we are using in database, we call it attributes. When we are using in mining, we call it dimensions. So when we are using relationship in database, that is in data mining, we call it facts. Like, so these are the changes. When we are changing our data into one form to another form, that becomes called transformations. So here also you can have, sometimes we can have combinations of attributes. As I told, we have a derived attribute, we have a composite attribute, right or not? So we have to combine so many attributes into one sometimes, because when we will have a separate attributes, but it can be combined, but we are keeping it separately. Unnecessary, we'll have to maintain database techniques over here. Now, for example, age and you have a date of birth. Both columns you have taken, right on it. Now you see here also, reductions part also we can think over here. Age is there, date of birth is there. Why will keep both these two? Only one, we can make one syntax for this. We can get from date of birth, we can get easily the age. Why will keep separately age here? So we can reduce this age. Or sometimes we can have like a date, then a day, then month, then a year. Why will keep separately? We can combine it into DOB, date of birth. So this is called, sometimes we have it typically in our database concept. So we call it a composite attribute, and sometimes we call it single attribute, or we can have a composite, right? So this is how this particular Weka filtering process, we have discretization, we have normalization, we have resampling techniques, we have attribute selections, transformations, and combinations of attributes, etc. These are the facilities we will have in the filtering options. I think this is clear about this particular functionality of particular Weka preprocessing. So if I'll ask one question, if you have remembered this particular Weka preprocessing is called dash. That is filters, right? So I told, what about the definitions? We have a filtering options. This is called Weka preprocess, right? And later on we'll discuss because it will come. Now only Weka only deals with the flat files. So now you can see already we have seen so many extensions of files and Weka can be used. Now these are the particular way we are using the file format, right? And when we are using graphical user interface, that time we cannot use this type of. When we are going little bit command CLI form, that times we can use this, right? So @ attribute age, numeric @ attribute, right? So all this data can be used like this in the flat file manners. Means there is no specific what you call a tabular format, things. You can go for flat file manner. That is RF file and CSV file. These files will help you to in this regard. And these are all types of flat files you can use. Clear? This is the format of how you can use. The next important part is in Weka flat files, they have a different kinds of attributes. One is numeric attribute, another one is nominal. What is numeric? That means integer value. We call it in computer science, we call it integer, right? Int. Or sometimes numbers, numeric values. Then what is nominal value, which is not integer? What are these? Like qualitative attribute you will have. Like when you will have alphanumeric values, that time we call it nominal values, right? For example, if I'll ask, how is this student's registration number 101? You will say this 101 is very good. Very good is a type of value. When I'm asking this particular performance based or whatever maybe, what about this particular students, that time you are justified. If I'll ask how much percentage marks he has scored or she has scored, that time you are not going for nominal value. You are going for numeric. That is 60%, 70%, 80%, whatever maybe, right or not? So in this particular way, when we are using flat files, normally we are using two different kinds of attributes value. That is, one is a numeric attribute, then another is nominal. Suppose if I'll ask, what is the climate today at your place? So you can see very hot, very cold, right? Moderate, right? Very, humidity is more, right? So these are all nominal values. Clear or not? But exactly if I'll ask a numeric type of values, that time we can go for numeric attribute. That is enough. This is enough. Now, this is how, this is the first page of your Weka. Then you will open the Weka software. When you will install the Weka software, the first page you will find. And all these options you can see: preprocess, classify, cluster, associate, selection attributes, visualize. All these are functionalities of Weka software. And this is also the functionalities of data mining. And more data mining functionalities are there. But with respect to the Weka software, they have included these other what you call data mining functionalities. What are these data mining functionalities? Preprocess, we have seen in our data mining concept. Then second is classification. We have seen classifications also. And we have seen cluster also. We have seen associations also. We have seen selection attributes also. These are all parts of, this is a subset of functionality of data mining. We can see in the Weka. So Weka is using all types of. Now, I want to share with you all this information regarding this particular GUI. This is graphical user interface of Weka. So now you can see these are all functionality unit like a preprocess, classify, cluster. The second line you can see these are the options you will have where you can get the data. That is, open the file. So existing, if you are installing by default in C drive, in program files you will have. I'll show you. Don't worry. Then you can go for, as I told, URL based. That means you can go for websites. You can link the data sets and directly you can access it. You can go for a database file if you are using databases, and you can get directly database files you can open here. Then you can go for next filtering options. What is filtering options I told? So you can go for pre-processing, right? Any kind of algorithms you can set over here and you can get the data here. So output you will have. How many attributes are there? What is the output of that particular algorithms you will see. And graphically you can see here, visualize all this person's, it is meant for your graphical representation. So this is how this Weka software looks like. Now we'll move to, if you are ready, everyone is ready, then I can switch to one by one slides. Then I can show you the practical demonstration. Now go for preprocess and open the file. I have made these slides in such a way that you can see simultaneously over here. Now I can open because already I have opened. Now if you don't know, you can see after. I'll minimize this. Now I'm going to start this particular session. So when you are going for Weka, first you have to install the Weka. As I told, you can go for download this Weka softwares from the URL search engine. So that, as I told, there it is in this. Here you can download. This is you can download. After getting download the files, right? That is versions 3.9.6 Weka will come. So you just click on this, double click on this, it will start installing. Nothing will, just go for next, everything will be processed. Now after installations, how to check? You can go for any versions of OS you have. So you know how to search the files and folders. So you can go for searching options, right? You can type there in search options, that is Weka. So when you will type this Weka options, now you can see here, my PC is a little bit slow, right? So you have to be at this time. Now here you can type Weka. Now I can type Weka. So Weka will be visible like this. You can double click after installations, right? So you can double click on this. Now after clicking on this, you will get this type of screen. I'll show you. This is the screens, Weka screens you will see. Yes. Now, as I told, it will be get time. Okay, no problem. So now this file, this particular GUI you will have. You can see, everyone. You can see this one, the screen. Yes, is it visible? Let me know. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So now see here, these are the options you have. As I told, Explorer, Experiment, Knowledge Flow, Workbench, CLI. Now these are the options of Weka. Now you can go for Explore. Once you will click Explore, so now you will get this screen. Check it, because I have opened, right? Once again I'll open because it is getting time. That's why I have opened so many screens over here. So I have entered here. Now I'm moving to Explore. Now after clicking on Explore, what will be there? You check it. See, it is opening. It's getting, because data warehouse, it takes a time. But if you have a processor speed more and i5 or i3, it will be immediately, it will open. So many files is opening. Okay, because I have opened so many times. Okay, let it be open. This is opening some. See, so this is the screen. What you have seen in my PPT. This is the screen you can see. Now this is original Weka, and this is Explore. Under Explore, Weka Explorer, you can see here. So now in this, you can find out the first options you will have: preprocess, classify, cluster, all these. All these are inactive, only preprocessing is active, right or not? So I can open one file. So file open options you can click. Now I can go for, as I told, when will install your Weka software by default. By default, if you are not changing the location. by default, all the files will be there in C drive. So now you can change here location. If you have installed, you can go through and you can follow my steps. So you can go for C drive. Now under C drives, you will have program files. So you will have definitely program files. In program files, you will have a Weka, W-E-K-A, Weka 396 versions. So now you can open it. Just a minute. Yes. I can open once again. See, double click on this. Now on this, you can go for, there are so many options we have, 4 folders you have. You can go for data. Under data, you will have so many files over here. See, you can see the Weka bars symbols is there. That means these are all files, by default files of Weka. So you can take this Weka files. So there are airlines files. I'll show you the how this file looks like. I'll show you right now. Don't worry. So now this is airlines file, then cancers file, breast cancers file, contact lens file, CPU file. These are all related to your data sets. Now they have collected the data, saved as a file name, right? So now you can see these are all ARIF files extension. You can see here ARFF data .arff. So this is the file extension of ARFF files by default. And you can take from Kaggle, you can take online sources. Every online sources you can take ARIF file, CSV file, and you can put here, and you can go for analysis, or you can directly link that files to your Weka software. You can use it. Now I'm going for example, iris file, right? This is a very small file. Iris means it's a type of flower we have, right? So it's a kind of a flower. We have to go for loading the file. Now see, in the iris file, I've just let you know, then I'll go for how to get this file, where to get this file, what looks like this file format, flat file format, I'll show you, right? So this is your Weka file. I have loaded one file that is named is iris. So in this iris file, you can find out iris file, okay? Because in the screen, I have so many options like I have to adjust, okay? Now this is your iris file. You can see here relation name is iris. Relation means table. Relation means entity. Relation means your dimension. You call any type in any context. Now, what is attributes? Attributes means fields. Number of columns in this. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. Now, normally in agriculture, you will have so many plants, so many characteristics, so many fields, so many data you will have. So this is also one type of flower and details of a flower. Now, instances, 150. What is instances over here? Instances means records. Instances means records. That means row, one by one. In Excel, so we have how many rows. So how many instances? Total 150 records are there. Clear or not? So total out of 150 records, right? We have to see how many records have how many suppose under how many attributes, how many records or how many values are there. Now you can see here 3 different types of color in visualization, right inside. You can see one is blue, 16. Another, you can see all types of values you have. So what are these values? We have different kinds of what you call iris flower, right? Different kinds of iris flower. That's also we can find out. Now, this is the right-hand side. You can see selected attributes. Now we can find out all statistical analysis over here. Minimum length 4.3, maximum length 7.9, mean 5.843, and standard deviations 823. Now, anyone can ask this question because you have attended last 5 days. You are attending the lectures and you are having all types of things like machine learning, like artificial intelligence, like data analysis, so many things we are going to, right or not? Tell me, whenever we are going for data analysis, why we are going for standard deviation, mean, max, this, that, why we are going for this? Is it really work for our research work? It is going to use anyway. Can you identify why we are taking for standard deviation? Why we are going for mean? Why we are going for maximum values here, minimum values here out of all these values? There is a need. I'll tell how. That means just I will recall how it can be useful. Because in pre-processing, there are so many techniques we have, like missing values we have, like void data we have, like incorrect data we have. So many disturbances will be there. Now, all these disturbances can be normalized or can be fulfilled or can be rectified through all statistical analysis. It doesn't always mean we have to find out and we have to use. No, if there is some problems in our data sets, sometimes mean value can be used for this data, and sometimes max value can be used. Sometimes average value can be used. Sometimes we can go for standard deviations, right? We can go for correlations, regressions. We can find out so many statistical analysis to overcome all these disturbances in our data sets. So these are very important, though it is used or not, but we have to go for analysis, because sometimes if something comes disturbances in our data set, we have to use these techniques and we have to rectify to make our database normalized, right? So now this is how this particular iris data can. Now we can go for so many things one by one. Now I'm selecting only length. So when I'm going for length, only length data will display. If I'm going for only, see, you can change the here number and visualizations also. If I'm going for petal length, so accordingly it will be changed. When I'm going for petal width, these things will come. Now classes, different type of classes, you can see, as I told, 3 types of classes, data classes are there in this. What are these? So total out of 150 instances, we have 3 categories, 3 classes of data. One is iris setosa, iris, that means iris flower, one category of iris flower, that is called a setosa. Then another type is iris vargicolor, and another one is iris virginica. So these are the flower category under iris flower, right or not? And their quantity, how many records is there? 50, 50, 50, 50, all 50 are. Right or not? So equal, see here you can see the graphs, all red, blue, green, all are equal inside. Now if you want to see every aspects of your visualization, you can go for visualize all. So when you will click on visualize all, it gives you every types of attributes value, every types of attributes. See here, with respect to the petal length, with respect to the petal width, with respect petal sepal weight. So all classes you will have. Now these are all different kinds of, see, based on the attributes. How many attributes are there? 5 attributes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one is a sepal length. Sepal length means the person's that particular leaf, right? Leaf length. You can see iris flower. You can put in the Google. You can find out like a blue color flower is there, and a white spotted will be there, and there will be a leaf petals will be there. Length, width, it is there. So all this measurement they have done. So now blue color you will have, then green color you will have, red color you will have. This is called different types of flowers under iris flower. Then again you can see depends on the different attribute, we have a different kinds of values. And this is the last one is your classes, different types of classes. How many vargicolor, how many that is setosa, that is all 50, 50, 50. Right or not? So these are the values you can see. Now, what is the value? 16. What is 16, 30, 34, again 8, 16, these things. You can see here, depends on the width, depends on the length of petals and sepals. So according to that, the distribution is going. You can see. That is visual. That's why it is GUI based. You can see and you can click on that. Clear or not? So I think this is clear. Now I can go for other things also. This is how this particular Weka software doing. Now I can go for other files also. Accordingly, I can go for. Now, for example, I can go for which one? Soybean, one another plant. So now soybean. How many attributes? Anyone can say? How many attributes are there? 36. How many records are there? 683. You can see instances means 683. Now, these are the records you have. These are the columns you have. How many columns you have? This is a huge column. That means a large data set you have. Now, under this, if you go for classes, how many classes you can go for? See, number of classes in this. You can see the quantity and total number. If you add, it will be 68. So this is the basic part I'm talking about under pre-processing, how to visualize the data with respect to the different attribute. Now, if I'll go for date, if I'll go for plant stand, if I'll go for a temperature, TEMP, now these are the data. And if I'll go for visualize, you can see how many visualizations will come. How many visualizations will come? Total 36 visualizations will come, because as per the attributes we have 36. Now it takes time. The 36 attributes must be displayed with the graphical manner. So it takes time. I'm waiting for this particular responses, graphical responses. Just wait. You'll find. I think anyone having any doubts till now? Just tell me the doubts so that I can explain. But if you have installed this particular software, it will be better, because simultaneously you can go. So it takes time because 36 attributes are there, right? Okay, let it be. We can minimize it. Yes, this is coming. See here. Now, actually, I'm showing you, but actually you need not record all this. How much you require, you can select it, you can go for visualize. That's up to you. Now, this is how this. Actually, we are not doing here data mining especially. Just one very, what you call, very small part of data mining we are doing. We are not going for data mining actually. This is only task is given and just showing the quantity, how much it is, right? Distributions of all types of. Actually, we will go for now. Okay, is it clear so far? Participants? Yes? Yes, participants, are you able to get it? Tell me. No one is responding. So this is how this particular pre-processing is over. Now we'll go for next part.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Good afternoon.
Any-
This is Kaustubh, sir. Sir, actually, I just wanted to know. You have showed a set of attributes, sir. You have showed.
Sorry?
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, yes. Tell me.
Sir, you have showed a set of attributes. Okay.
Hmm.
Among those attributes, whichever we do require for our purpose, we can select them, sir, and we can omit
Yes,
others,
yes. Yes, yes, definitely. Now,
Would
for
you-
example, this is a large number of attributes I'm talking about.
sir.
If we'll go for previous one, a small attribute, I'll explain very quickly. As per your attribute selection, now, for example, you need not record a petal length, for example, because we have a 4 or 5 attributes, including classes, right? Only you are concentrating that the cephal length. Under cephal length, if you are going for, you can have this type of information. Now we have so many analysis. I'm not going through, only pre-processing part I'm talking about, right or not? So now only cephal length, if you'll see and visualize it, so only one attribute you are going for. In databases, so many attributes are there. You are not going for all, taking all. But when you are going for all, that time you have to see visualize. Yes, if you are going for only one, you can concentrate on one. So only one, I'll show you another part, you'll understand this. If I'll go for decision tree, right? So that time you can understand. That time you can understand better that how to select your attribute actually. So now here the beginning, where is that? Here in this particular phase, that only you have to see that my data, because we are in the pre-processing state. We are in the pre-processing state. In pre-processing, what we have to do, we have to see that our data is properly processed, so that properly formatted, properly well set, so that it can be used further process. That's further process. It may be classification, it may be cluster. So that's why before pre-processing, the all options were inactive. You might have observed, I told all options are inactive. When I am doing one file in this pre-processing, all options are activated. That means what? Before pre-processing, you cannot make classification. Before pre-processing, you cannot go for clustering, association, attribute selection. That is the actually meaning of this. Now you can go for classification. Now what you are telling, you can choose your own attribute, you can choose your own algorithm, and you can set. Now in this case, we can go for next slide. What exactly your doubt must be clear. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Go. I told that don't disturb. This is session is going on. Go. Clear. So now this is next. I'll complete. Then you'll understand how we can select the attribute. Actually, we are not selecting here attributes. Just we are seeing that our data is like this. It is in the flat mode. We cannot understand. I will show you what is the flat mode file actually. So I can directly move to this particular location, C drive, and I can show you. There are so many options. Now I can go for my computer. Where is my PC? Yes, it takes time. Now my PC, if I'll go for C drive, I'll show you the file. How difficult to find out. But here we can graphical manner we can see. In program files, my file is stored in program files. Your file may be in anywhere. You can search. And here you can go for Weka. Now Weka, you can go for data. In data, I can go for, we are handling iris. Right click on this. And open with, you have options with, open with Notepad. Because these are all flat files. Okay. So you can go for Notepad options and you can see your file. That is either you have collected the file or someone has given you the file to analysis it. Sometimes, maximum times, we cannot have our own file. We can take others' file, right? So now in this file, you cannot find exactly what areas or which attributes, how much values. This is only flat file manner, comma separated file you have. So is it clear to understand which type of files, what are the different percentage, how many status are, how many vertical are, how many petals, these things you cannot find. This is a flat, completely flat files, right? And you cannot understand because it is based on the comma separated format. So now this file is actually used by the Weka and showing in the graphical manner so that you can find out so many things. Now I'll show you the pre-processing part, missing values. That time it will be very convenient to you. Where the data is missing here, you cannot find out because it is only the few data, 160 data, and sometimes you will have thousands of data. That time it is hardly impossible to get the where the null values is there, where empty value is there, where incorrect values is there. But if you are going for Weka software, it will show you all details clear manner. So you can visualize, okay, these things is happening here. We have to rectify it here, either in through what you call software mode or in the manual mode. You can go for as per your convenience. You can go for. So that's why I'm showing this particular aspects. This is how the actual file is, iris file. Or you can see every file's data now. All files with a notepad format. So if you go for all files notepad format, it will be like your flat file. That is the flat file format. So in flat file, you will have only nominal and you have numeric data. So huge amount of nominal and numeric data, which is placed with a separated comma file, right? So it is hardly impossible to find out pre-processing over there. So that's why we can go for Weka software and we can make it all Weka processing easily or data mining process easily over here. I think this is clear, sir, to you. Now this is where it was there. I'll show you this file. So many files I have opened. Okay, so this is preprocessing. Okay, now we can go for next part. With the first mode, I'll go, and if you have doubts, you can go. Now this is how open the file. Next, you can visualize all. This is analysis we are having. Different files you will have. Now this is classes. With respect to class, you can have different types of classes of file. You can find out all visualization what I have done, right? So next you will have, these are in my slides, right? So these are the things I have done. Now this is also I have done with respect to individual attribute. We have 5 attributes. You can visualize it separately, and you can find out the minimum, what is the minimum, maximum, mean, and standard values of each and every attributes wise. Then you can choose filter options. That's we are going for next pre-processing hour. Now under filtering, we can go for different types of. Now here we have Weka filters, supervised, unsupervised. Already we have studied, right or not? So that things we can go for. We can go for attribute, right? So now you can have discretize. That options we have. Under attribute selections, you can have discretize. Now how we can go for? See here. So your doubts will be clear under this. I'm going for wake up here, this one. Okay. So you can go for, this is pre-processing or one more. Which one? Now this is pre-processing over. We can go for filtering. Now in the filtering, I can click here filters. Iris flower. So before any particular process over here, you have to go for one file, then load, then you can go for filter. So you can click on this arrow mark. Then you can go for unsupervised, then attributes, then you have discretize. Where is, we have one option discretization in PPT we have seen. We can go for discretize. Now this is your algorithm for discretize. So once it is there, you can apply it here. Now see here, what is the meaning of a discretize here, as I told. So different length. Sorry, someone is speaking. Any doubts? You can see here. Now I am having this label. When we are going for levelizing the value, that time we call it a discretization algorithm. Now tell me the label what? Now 0 to, that means from 0 to 4.66. This is your sepal length. If I'll change this, it will be changed. If I'll change this, it will be changed, right? So according to this, you can judge it. Now these are all categories. All total 150 data can be levelized into different 9 or 10, whatever, 10 levels. This level becomes a range. So I told at the beginning, when we are going for discretizations of data, we have to make level wise, class wise, right? What is this? 0 to 4.66, then 4.66 to 5.0. Now this is how the range values. Now why we are making this? Because you have to see number of frequencies over here. Because if it is 150, it is too difficult to find out among the data relations, everything. Now you can easily find out maximum counts here. How many? Number of counts. Now if I'll say, you tell me out of 10 category labels, which range is maximum data we have? Now 27s we have. What is the 27th range? 5.38 to 5.74. This is the length, or this is the length, cephal length of this particular iris flower, which is maximum out of 150 records. So now you can find out all this type of particular informations through discretizations algorithms. Now in this is called parameters. So now if you click on this, you will find out this chart, and you can vary here. Now this is first, last attributes indexes. These are all values you can see. So as per your requirement, by default, we have taken all zeros, but you can change as per your requirements. Now, this is your discretization algorithm, actually. And these are the parameters on discretization algorithm. So now if you change the parameters also, you can have a different output over here. So why we are going for discretizations? When you will have this value or your data set is more and you want to make it labelized. So that time label-wise data must be under discretization process. So it will be easy to find out which ranges data, how much counts is there. So you can find out like age. Normally we go for a different questionnaire and we have to find out which range of ages you are belongs to, like 0 to 15, 15 to 30, 30 to 60, 62 onwards. Like this, we have a range. So that time, out of all data, that is already I have shown you flat files, iris files, you can make your data analysis with respect to this format, so that you can find out some inferences or you can find out some knowledges out of it, information out of it. This is how this is called discretizations in the pre-processing process. We can filter go for. So n number of algorithms are there on this. You can go for any kinds of algorithms over here. As I told you, in pre-processing, 72 algorithms are there. Under each and every options, you will have n number of algorithms. You have a supervised, we have unsupervised, you have a attribute, you have instances. So all options, if you combine, it will be near about 72 pre-processing algorithms you have. Now these pre-processing algorithms only to pre-process the data. Now you can say, sir, I need this much of data, which is ranges from 574 inches to or centimeter to or millimeter to whatever the length, right? 6.1. I need not require this data. Only you have to fetch this data. So here the options you have. Now, if you want to make these ranges also changes, you can go for changes, right? So what are the precisions you want to give? What are the options you want to give? As per your requirements, you can give. By default, it has given like this, right? So now this is how this pre-processing options under all these algorithms you can verify and you can go all these 72. But normally all these 72 algorithms we need not require. Maximum which are the main important algorithms we go for, you can use as per your requirements. This is about pre-processing. I think so. So now next we'll move to, as per my PPT, now you can go for, this is your discretization process as I have given in this particular Weka software. Now you can see these are the attributes you can change because this is the algorithm's attributes you have. This is a discretization algorithm. Now your output you are seeing here. So you can have this output. Now you can change your attribute as per that also you can get, right? So these are the discretized values you can have. Right now, this is next. Now, this is you have pre-processing part. Now we can go for next is, you can see here, next is your in the Weka software classification, classify. So now pre-processing what I told in graphical manner, GUI based manner, you can set your data files. Now, sir has given one example. Suppose we have a data files, any data files you can say. But if you want to make it a RRF file or CSV file, that will be good for analyze in Weka. But DB file, then other files also can be used, like a C 4.5 versions also, files also, binary files also can be used. But conveniently, we can use RF and CSV file. And if you are not able to convert it onlinely, you have conversions, or we can have in the Weka, I'll tell you, if time permits, I'll show you how to convert these files also in Weka software. That is also options is there, right? So now this is how pre-processing you can do n number of pre-processing options. I'm not going through each and every 72 algorithms because for time constraints. So I can move to classification, right? In the classification, because I have to complete this part, graphical manners, I have to switch to the knowledge flow, which I have to design, right? That it is very important to show you because my intention is to create knowledge flow, right? So now what I can do, we can take one short break if you need. Then we'll start simultaneously the graphical GUI based and knowledge flow, the design part. You can design your own vertical knowledge flow. I'll show you one example, then accordingly we can do. Now I can show you, see here, this is under PPT, I'll show you. This is one, my own design. I have designed, created. So now here you can put some file. It can be classification, validation. Then we can have some algorithm J48, that is your classifier. Under this classifier, you can see output with the graphs, with different outputs we can have. Now this is our own design. You can create your own design as per your data, as per your analysis process, whatever in data mining. So these things we can design at our own. That is my target to show you in this particular session. Dear participants, if you don't mind, we'll have 5 or 10 minutes. Sir, Banaji sir, can you go for a break?
Yes, sir.
So,
We'll take
or
some-
otherwise I'll continue. Tell me, the participant must tell me. If you are ready, then I'll continue, no problem.
From participate side, if someone has to respond, then only we can
See,
continue.
at the beginning also, you are very silent. We know you are very, silent learner, but you should be interacted when the facilitator wants to interact with you. Right or not? Everyone should respond at least. At least I will be happy if you will interact with me. Sir, आपका नाम क्या है? You can ask any languages. So it doesn't mean that you will speak in English. You can ask Telugu. You can use Telugu, Bengali, Marathi, then Kannada, then Oriya, Hindi, English. I know every language. You can tell. I have given options, number of languages I can use, but I am not fluent on that. You can ask the questions and you can have the clearance. And if you know this particular softwares also, you can share your experiences. It is not like that I'll share only, you will see only these things. You can share because it is a FDP, Faculty Development Program, right? So we are having development sites, right? So I can develop my knowledge also by enhancing all these things, whatever the inputs you will give. And as well as at the same time, you can develop your own skills and all things. It is not only that the facilitator always speaks and the learners always listens these things. It should not be one direction, unidirections communication. It must be bi-directional communications. That means a full duplex mode there should be the session. Yes and no, participants, please. You just interact with, just ask me my where I am from, which place I am from, any questions you can ask in between. See, if you want to ask, then this sessions will be going to very very non-interactive sessions will be there, right? Because this session is going to be recorded, right? So normally what happens, we have so many tasks by opening the mobile and switching on the videos, right? To get the certificate, it's not enough. When we have time, you can ask the questions. Yes. Before going the break, you just ask the questions or doubts or anything you want to share. Just speak about Weka. Is it convenient to you to understand what I am speaking? Yes, participants, are you there or not? Only I think I am listening the Banaji sir and our host sides. I am listening something.
Yes, maybe, sir.
No.
Actually,
No,
Yes,
it's
someone
quite
is speaking.
interesting. It's quite interesting.
Yes,
yes, sir. It is interesting from our side, but what about
sir. What
See,
about
this is the
participants
problem.
I'm talking about?
When we are on
here, sir.
online, we don't know. People who are at other places, we don't know.
No, sir. Actually, we are spending our time, no valuable time we are spending to deal with.
I am showing interactive tools also. They are not responding on the interactive tools also. I'm asking orally also. They are not responding. What happens? I'm not actually host sides. You might have known what is going on at the participant side. I don't know. But
No, sir.
still, participants, please interact with me and with all participants, because you will gain knowledge from each other. So if you'll ask more questions, so that I can give so many steps. If I don't know, again I have to go through, and I have to study on that. It will be helpful for me. Clear? So please, before leaving for this break, short break, just prepare yourself. You have to ask, and after this particular break, every steps you have to ask. You have to just tell me what is going on, sir. How we can, though you have a software or not, I have already told, right? You have installed. If you go for, because hands-on is going on, I'm doing in the practical in my laptop, I'm showing. So simultaneously, if you do, that will be added to your CV, nothing else. It will be added to your CV that I have completed data mining through Weka software. So that's enough, no? And if you know, you just share your experiences also on this. Okay, thanks, participants. We'll take a 5 minutes break. Then we'll start by what, sir? Banaji, sir? We'll start
5 minutes.
5 minutes,
After
right?
5 minutes.
So after 5 minutes, we will continue this. My intention is to cover that knowledge flow part. Okay.
No, we hope
Yes.
they will ask questions, sir.
Okay, we'll hope so. Okay, sir. We'll take 5 minutes break.
Okay.
Hello. May I audible? Sir?
You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir. So once again, welcome to this particular FGP after this sub-stage break. So now we are in this part, that is this part. Now this particular page, we will see classifications rule, right? As we have seen, classification is a supervised learning, right? We have to use different kinds of scientific rules and different models so that we can classify our data sets, whole data sets into different. Now, very effective classifications techniques we use here, decision tree, right? In classifiers in Weka, normally we are talking about Weka now because it is in practical on Weka. So Weka are models for predicting the nominal or numeric quantities, as I told, nominal values and numeric values. Then, sir, I'm getting a little bit disturbances from background. Check it. Hello. Okay, sir. Thank you. Implemented learning schemes including decision tree, lists, instance-based classifier, support vector machines, multi-layer perceptors, and logistic regressions, Bayesian nets, Bayesian algorithms we have, and we have a different kinds of techniques, and we have a 48 classifiers in Weka tools, different types of. Now, before going for classifications, in my theory sessions in data mining, I did not cover this particular example. Now we can go for this example, that is decision tree. Now here you can find out a student's information, so age with respect to age, income, student, credit rating, and bias computer. Now I'll directly switch to the questions on this. Just adjustment I'll do. Next slides you will see what is, because I have to cover in the first moment. Now see here, output a decision tree for bias computer. Now we have one questions out of it. That question should be resolved on this. Who is going to buy this computer? Who is going to buy, right? Now this decision tree is developed out of this particular data. Now see here, age less than equal to 30, age less than equal to 30. This is the same. And income is high. The student, is there, they are a student or not? No. And credit rating, they are fair and excellent. And they can go for computers or not? No. Now this is one type of inference we are going for. That means whether a particular age or income or student type or credit rating type people, they can go for buying computers or not. You can doubt it here. Now, if their age is less than 30 and their income is more, and they are not still a student, now they are in the level of student, then if you see both are all same, like less than 30, high, no. Is there any conclusion we are getting? No, because here the same output is coming, right or not? Less than 30 and high income, no. That means we can make a category of credit rating here. So here changes is coming, fair and excellent. Now all these three values, parameter values are same, but here the parameter values different, and we are having the output is low. Now you can compare less than 30 and low and no. These things you can see in the last, I'm showing the mouse cursors here. So here no also is there. So this record and this records are same? No, at all. Because this is the same less than 30, but here income is medium. And student is no, okay, okay. And fair is coming here, but here no is coming. Because of this, it is again coming. So now all different kinds of situations is coming with respect to our inference conclusion. Our conclusion, we have to take decisions. What type of decisions? Whether anyone can go for buying computers or not. So these are all data is given with a different format, that is tabular format, right? Now we can go for this way. Now you decide here whether this is very easy or this is very easy. Now this is the output by decision tree, buying computers. Now age less than 30, student and no. Now this side, left side, you can see that students completely gives you the no value. Now this side, after this, you can go for right hand side, it will give you the yes side. Now you can make a particular group, classification. You can make a oval shape here. So this is, if our data lies on this per group, then it becomes no. If our data lies in this particular group, that it is yes. This our data lies on this particular group, this is yes. This particular range, suppose more than 40, doesn't mean that he will go for, but again variations is there. So you take right hand side completely one group and it gives you always yes. Then you can go for this group like age greater than 40, rating excellent, and you will get always no. So this way you can make. So this is how this decision tree helps us to make some inference or different kinds of decisions. So this is the use of decision tree algorithm. Now this decision tree algorithms can be used in our Weka, we can construct. Now if I'll say simple example, you can give. Now how many records you will have? It is around 14, 15 records is there. So it is too easy to construct this decision tree. If our 160 records are there, like we have iris dataset, so that time it will be difficult to construct a decision tree. Now using Weka, it will be very easy. Now how we can go for? You can go for this way step. So I can show you how to go for. Now we can go for classification. Under classification, we have the steps. That is, we have to choose the classifier algorithms. Then we can go for selecting J48. So J48 is basically we are using for decision tree algorithms. So we have different kinds of algorithms on tree structures also, but most common user gives you the so also we are using this is ideal to make our decision tree. Now one by one we'll move and we'll create one decision tree. Once your data set is going to be placed with a data like a decision tree, that means it will be useful to take immediately decisions. What type of decisions will come out of your total records, right? So now the other part I'll tell you here, insist to you, every data sets you cannot go for decision tree method. Sometimes you can go for a different kind of there will be generated because the system is generating the decision tree, but you cannot have the use of decision tree that time. So you have to decide that whether my data set is appropriate for decision tree or I can go for decision tree for my data set. You have to find out first. Once it is decided, accordingly you can use your decision tree or other. We have other classification tools also like Bayesian nets. So we have so many techniques we have. Now we'll go for hands-on. So I'll open this file, which is already opened. Now just I want to clean. So I want to use this. This is not the file. So I think this is the iris data we have already is there. Now we can go for classification. Under classifications, we can go for, it's for this, we can go for here decision table. Sorry. You can see different functions is there. Bayesian nets, Bayesian naive Bayesians, Bayesian nets, right? All these functions will help you for classification. That is your another logistic, multi-perception, so simple logistic and SMO, then lazy. These are the algorithms also we frequently use. Then these are the algorithms under your meta. So now miscellaneous you have, right? Rules based you have. So many I told. Then you can go for tree. In tree you can go for J48. Now this is J48 algorithms we are having. If you click, all parameters will show you. So now you can change the parameters also, that size, then binary split, whatever may be, as per your requirements, you can change your values here also. So now you can go for start doing this and splitting folds in the 10. I'll show you first. This is the output. instantly, immediately you will have this classification. Now, what does it mean? We'll see. This is your schema. J48, under this J48, we are going for relation iris data, instances to 150 total records, and 5 attributes we have. And these are the J48 primed tree, or tree structures under this. And if you go for one options, we have right click this, right? This is the tree, right? This is the output. You can go for visualizations of this tree, right? So now visualizations tree you can go for. So you will find your decision. It takes a little bit time because graphically it represents. See here. This is the data you have and decision tree. Why it is coming? Because maximum data is coming. Okay. Another, I'll show you another versions of this. Will show you. So this is the structures you can expand here. Okay. So this is how decision tree can be drawn. I think this is clear. So now if you'll focus on this, now here you will have a confusion matrix. Is it visible to see whether this confusion matrix? Normally, confusion matrix we use when we use confusion matrix. So now, when we are predicting values or actual values, right? So matrix we have, we can go for false, true, 2 options, and you have a predictions and you have actual values. Sometimes what you are seeing actually it is different than your prediction. Now suppose a cat, Billy. So cat, it is similar to tiger. Now, actually, it's a cat. You are predicting it is tiger. So here, this format you can have matrix format, actual and prediction, and true and false. So these 4 parameters you can take with the 4 matrix format, like predictions, one side predictions, and actual. Another one is true and false. That combinations you will have. Why we can have this? Because we have to see sometimes our predictions may correct, but actually it's wrong. And sometimes you will have actually it's correct, prediction is wrong. So that way we can take a decision. That time there should be a confusion matrix statement that must be showing here. Now here you can see in this particular format, ABC classification iris data ABC, and according to that how many data records are there. I'll show you the missing values also, how to get the missing values, right? So sometimes what happens, because of missing values, we cannot have appropriate data sets under a particular classes, right? So there may be mismatch of classes. That means the total 150 records, you may not get 150 records. That I can show you in this. We have the visualization class errors. So now here you can see, this is the errors you have. You can enhance the jitter value, right? You can see now. Now see here, is it visible? I think so. Participants, is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So now you can see Setosa blue color, then Vargicolor red color, and Varginica that is green color. But what about this 5 and 7 something dots are there? Red 1, green 5, blue I think somewhere it will be there, right or not? It is not there. So total this is 5 and 6. These rectangular boxes, so what are these? This is called missing value. This is called missing values. That means this is not coming under our classification. Now this is one classification iris data, another classification Vargicolor, another classification category is Varginica. Now, these are this data which is under this, but it is not coming in the classification. Now, this is how this easily you can find out the how many records are there, in this particular. So you can find out the missing values as I told. In red, that is vargicolor, 1 record is there for missing, and in 5 records are there in your what you call Virginica. So total data set you can find out how many outliers are there. Outliers means they are not coming under the algorithms. They are not coming under this algorithms. Which algorithms we are using? That is suppose decision tree or discretization, whatever may be, any algorithms you are using. Now suppose for classification we are using J48 in Bayesian nets, Bayesian. These are the algorithms we are using. So now these algorithms, based on these algorithms, we have a certain classes, right or not? Under that classes, those who are satisfied, they are under that classes. Those who are not satisfied, they are outside of this classes. So this is how easily we can find out a graphical manner. So you have a jitter value, you can find out these are the you can see large and small. You can do this is here. You can see here it is moving like this, right? So here you can see the options you can give. You can see, right? This is petal length, towards petal length, how many? Then you can see width. Then width wise you can find out where are the missing values. Then you can go for length of this. Now x-axis, you have x-axis and another y-axis. According to that, as per your requirements, you can visualize all the data, and you can find out different classes, and accordingly you can find out the different types of outliers data you can find. So in this particular data sets, we have 6 outliers data when we are going for classification, that you can find out. So now these 6 data must be rectified. This 6 data must be corrected, or it may be removed from the database. Because this data having this, we can go for other analysis part. That time they may influence on our result. So you have to critically thinking, that is called your reductions part, or you can have a normalizations part, what we call. So now you have to go for this data eliminations. Now you have exactly find out in IVC Setosa, there is no data modifications required, but in Vargicolor and Virginica, you have to go for your pre-processing of data. That means missing data or incorrect data, which is not coming under your classifications rule. You have to rectify. Once you will rectify, then it is going to happen correct analysis, right? Now, the next part is how to get this data. Missing data, you can go. Now, as I told, in the pre-processing label, we have like what you call in pre-processing, we have seen that we have a mean value, standard deviations value, right? You apply the most sophisticated techniques which can predict your exact value to that missing, right? Now, for example, if I'll go for what you call normal pre-processing, if I'll go for, then mean, median, mode you are having, right? So already I have shown you maximum value, minimum value, mean value, and the standard deviations values you have. Now you imagine, suppose if I'll go for one file, doesn't highlight one. Suppose we can go for another file I can go for, which is diabetes, right? Diabetes we can go for. Now in this diabetes, and see standard deviations values is coming. Now these are the different what you call attributes we have, because those who are belongs to this particular what you call medical field, they can understand what type of attributes we have. Now you can go for rigorously study of this particular prig and plus pris, whatever this. I don't know clearly about that, but I know as per this data analysis. But if you go for a particular things, you can find out standard deviations here, 3.7. Now everybody knows, I think, what is standard deviations value. Yes, sir. So suppose I want to know now in my data sets, for example, if I'll go for one notepad file missing data, right? Suppose here I can go for. Suppose we have imagine we have 1 to 10 values, right? Go for sequential value. For instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now in between 4 and 6, we have a missing value. 5 is not there. Can you find 5 values? Sir, anyone? Because participants, they are not interacting. Anyone can? I have a list that is just I am telling you prior information. It is a sequential data to know about this. But actually it is given 1, 2, 3, 4, then missing values, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, did you get, or you can get exact 5 by any method? Anyone, sir? Because this lies on my question. That's why I'm asking. I'm not asking to make your this thing that. But actually, we can go for a statistical mean value. So you can find out. Or if you go for standard deviation, what exactly? As per my concerns, I'm telling. I am not a good statistician, but I have an interest on statistics analysis. Okay, let it be. That is a different part. But when we are talking about standard deviation, what does it mean actually? It is a value which is deviated. Standard value is deviated from all mean values or all values which is already distributed, right? So in a distributions, if you have a standard deviation value, it is a standard mean value deviated from each and every standard value. Now, if I'll get suppose 4 and 5, if my standard deviation value out of all these 10 values, if I'll calculate the standard value deviations, now it is, for example, this standard deviation value is becomes what is 3.7, right? So suppose we have a 4.1. Now that value can be deviated from the total mean value, and we have to find out which appropriate value it will be in our 4 to 5. It may be calculated if you do for rigorously calculation. It may be 4.9. It may not be 5 because you are going for standard deviation. It may have some fractional values, right? So now it may be 4.9, 4.8, or 5.1. So you are exactly reaching to the nearest value of 5, because we know I have a sorted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 values, but there is a missing value of 5. So that time you can imagine that missing value can be overcome when the target data sets we have and missing value, the ratio of these two is very high. That means out of 160 values, if it is 6 values are missing, that is possible to find out. But if 160 values and missing is 60 values or 70 values, it is too difficult to apply this method. Because every time we should not go for standard deviation, covariance, and these things all, etc. Again, we have to go for sophisticated techniques to find out. If one value is there, we should not go for standard deviation, these things, that things, if it doesn't hamper to our results a lot. So that time we can skip that value. Instead of 10 values, we can go for 9 values, and we can go for interpreting the results, right? So now based on your particular situation, you think that because of this particular value, my result is going to hamper a lot. That time you have to find out the missing values. And if the missing values is nearest to the actual values, then your predictions will be going to be very accurate and very nearest to your target. So this is how it is important when we are going for the missing values handling. So here you can find outliers and you can find. So this is. Yes, sir. Anyone?
There is one question for you, sir, in chat box.
Okay, I'll see.
At least
I'll happy to see that questions also. Okay, sir, is it for creating a random predictions for binary classification and visualizing the confusion matrix as a workflow? Yes, every time, yes, as per year. When we are going for random predictions, right? Random predictions means random, any kind of predictions you are doing, it may be randomly or any scientific methods you are predicting, okay? So confusion matrix will show you what is actually what is predictions. And with respect to actual and predictions, you have to give true and false. That is to confine your predictions actually. So there should be a confusion matrix so that you can draw a right conclusion on it. Because I can see if heavy humidity is there, rain should be there. Now this is a predictions, but sometimes you will have less humidity, but rain will be there, heavy rain will be there. So sometimes you will have more humidity is there is no rain. Now here some types of confusions we have. It is for your clarification, it is your sides that you have to take inference, you have to take decision, you have to take or make a conclusion based on the confusions also. If confusion matrix gives you a clarity that this is happening, then if it is giving clearly, that's no problem. But if it is showing confusion, then you have to, because you are the final decision maker who is going to take decisions under the confusions, right? So it is clarity. Every time Weka will give you the confusion matrix always. If you are going for any kind of what you call predictions, it may be random predictions or it may be any kind of a prediction. And when you are going for classification, it will show you confusion, because when you are classifying whether it will come or not, that is difficult, no? So we are arranging here. Computer is arranging. Algorithm is arranging. Human being is not arranging this data. So algorithm is arranging. There must be a confusion on that. For example, as I told, the image of a cat, image of a tiger is quite similar. Machine doesn't know, but based on the algorithms, it is classifying. There must be a confusion matrix. I think to this particular, yes, very good. Just you give a photo. Thank you, sir. Now it is clear. We can correct it. Associations even right. Okay, let it be. So that is up to you. What type of corrections you need in your sites, right? So because we have abundant scope to rectifications ourselves, right? So that is your side. You have to take decisions which type of information or stuffs you are getting from different resources, right? So this is how. Now, without wasting time, we can go for that little bit, because I have to cover. I'm running fast time. With respect to the time, no, I don't have, because so many things I want to tell you. So this is classification. Then we can go for cluster. So switch to the cluster. We can move. There are so many. These are the things I have already told for classification. I think classification is okay with respect to the Weka. Especially, I'm talking about Weka, right? I'm not going for other mining tools. We have so many mining tools, right? Then we can go for, this is already I have told. So now this is thing. So this is also I have explained. Visualize the errors. They see here. This is also one type of diagrams you can see. Petals with less than 6, greater than 6, right? So again, you have simply you can draw the conclusion. Simply you can take the decisions, right? So one particular leaves is coming, flower is coming, and under which you can go for Virginica. This is inference. You can see here Iris valgicola, right? Iris virginica, Iris color, right? This is Virginica. This is Setosa. Only one side is Setosa is there. Now tell me, if your petal width, we are taking petal width, right? If your petal length is 0.4, what type of inference you can draw here? Just I want to enlarge this. Instead, you can able to see this. This is my decision tree, right? This is my decision tree. So now you tell me, I have one flower. That flower, that is iris flower, I'm going. So you have to find out this iris flower, whether it is Setosa or Vargicolor or Virginica. Now the parameter is given, one attribute value is given, that is petal width, which is on the first, right? Petal width, that is 0.4. So can you tell me what type of iris flower is it is? Anyone? 0.4 comes under the left side part, because less than equal to 0.6. So from the 0 to 0.6 comes under iris setosa. Petal width. If petal width is less than 0.6, obviously you can draw aankh band kar kar. You have to close your eye and you have to tell this is iris setosa, because already you know iris flower. Only you have to tell whether it is setosa or vargicola or varginica, or this is our study with respect to the iris flower. We are taking all the data with respect to the iris flower. And when you will have iris flower data, out of 150, we have find out that all iris flowers, those who are having less than 0.6 length width of petals, it is coming under setosa. Then it will be a doubtful confusion part when it is greater than 0.6. So when it is petal width is more than 0.6, for example, 0.8, right? You can check it will go varginica or it will go for a vargicola. Clear or not? Why? Because there is a confusion on this. It is not clear. Because when we are going for petal width, that's the top one, petal width less than 0.6, it is complete confined that it is iris setosa. But when we are going for petal width more than 6, there is a variation second. Two variations is coming. So when we have a petal length more than 6, right, 0.6, that means you have to find out again length of petals. Width is completed, length you have to find out. Here we are not going for length because our decision confined only one condition, it is confined. But here our conditions, two conditions again it is there to confine whether this is vargicular or varginica. Because when the flower values more than 0.6, petal width is coming. So now this is a branch of decisions we are taking in decision tree. Decision tree is very effective, very effective tools we are using for taking decisions or inference. Now see here. So now you put one flower here, you can find out on this particular data set, through data set it is designed, right? So on this particular scenario, you can predict any types of flowers under this. You tell me. So now, because we have taken 4 parameters, and in 4 parameters like a petal width, petal length, sepal width, and sepal length. So under these 4 categories, you can do any type of analysis here. Now you can go for vargicular, you can go for varginica, you can go for setosa, that is class category. So it is better to use decision tree when we are going for classification solution, right? Depends on different algorithms you can go, right? So classification, I think it is clear through Weka. Now we can go for cluster, right? So time is running. Okay, let it be. So we have 5 o'clock, right? Sir, is it 5 o'clock till or 5:30?
5 o'clock, sir.
Okay. Okay. Just I'll go instantly because now clustering. As we told, clustering, we are using very common clustering technique, means clustering, right? There should be a centroid, mean centroid, and on that mean value, we can make nearest values, and we can make a cluster. Cluster unsupervised learning, right? So in Weka, we can use clustering also. You can see here, you can go for this clustering techniques where it is my Weka software. Okay. So now here we can go for cluster. Now in this cluster, so we can go for clustering techniques. There are so many clustering techniques. Now, as I told, you have different types of clustering, right? It can be cobweb, then EM, then fast, then filter clustering, hierarchical clustering, then density-based clustering, then simple means clustering, that is k-means clustering, right? So you can go for clustering and start this. You can have different type of cluster. Now in this clustering, you will find number of clusters and you can give number of attributes here, right? This is, I think, cancer's data we are going, no, sorry, this is diabetic data, right? So in diabetic data, there are 9 parameters we have, and we are making different clusters over here. Now in this cluster, you can find out how many clusters are there, number of iterations we have, how many iterations we are doing. K means we have to make a center point and surrounding all these values. So repeat these values till all the data sets must be covered with a particular cluster, right? So number of clustering 0, 1. So these are the two clusters we have. Under these two clusters, we have different values under this. So we can categorize on this. So this is directly unsupervised techniques. We are not using any. Directly we can go for cluster instances. You can see here total 600 something. So 700 or something tuples are there, right? So out of which you can see first cluster 60% occupies data and second is 35 occupies data. 500 data is under one instances, cluster instances, and the second one this. So two clusters we have prepared. So now this is, we can see the different, right click on this and you can see your data interpretations here also through clustering. So now this is about your clusterings. Then we can go for association. Now, when we are going for association rule, we have several association rules. So association means we have to find out the data items which is associated more to the other items. Now, depends on the association rules, we have different kinds of algorithms like we have a priori algorithm, we have a filter associated algorithm, then FP growth algorithms. So under associations, we have a limited, right? A priori algorithms you can start because it is already done, I think so. It is coming, we'll go for other files here because this file can go for another file. I have another file, I'll show you. Otherwise, we can go for directly access this. Now I can go for the iris, for example. Small file you can take for. This is iris. Now this is our associations we can go for. Then we can go for a priori. Why it is not? Filter based, start this. Filtering is coming. We have to first close this. Now, so many files has been. That's the problem. Not consider. Okay, so which file I am working on forward. Okay, let it be. Sure. Okay, let it be. We can go for 1 second. I'll show you. C drive and files. Then Weka. Then data. Then sample iris. Then we can go for clustering. Start. We can go for clustering. Start. Then we can go for association. Why it is not highlighting? Check it. One association is showing, another I have to check. Because sometimes if I have done at the beginning, no, so it is showing because under this particular file already it is saved. That's the problem. So you can take any kind. If you are doing at the first, it will show you visible you the a priori algorithms also, right? So a priori algorithms means what? A priori. A priori means now we have to see. We have a confidence, we have supports, and we have to find out. I'll show you because this is actually in data mining must be completed in the theoretical. Already I have explained some extent in this. Now this is association actually. What that means? Suppose different items we have purchasing, and we have to find out the support of a particular item to another item, and we have to find out the confidence. In this particular page, you will find out, see here, these are the five, you can go for vote file also. Now you can go for vote files. It will be possible. I think so. Because it depends on how the file will. Open this board file. Board file. Open. Now, this is how you are getting classifications you can go for. And if you are going for these things, after review, it is highlighted. Start. Now, depends on different, because the data set which belongs to the appropriate algorithms or data mining techniques you have to see. Now, suppose if you are going for voting and we are finding some confidence and support, right? So you should know the process of finding the support and confidence over here. The rule is support because total transaction, number of occurrence in the data set and divided by total of transactions, right? Then you have a support, then you have a number of iterations you have, right? How many iterations you are doing, that means you are making and getting the value associated with you. So now you can find out total size of total items in L1. L1 means we have to prepare the support and confidence process. Now I'll show you this process in this particular, how to get it. Now see here, association rule here means if you take here, B another one is confidence. Now support confidence, how did you find? Now for example, I want to get support as probability that the transaction contains X union. Now suppose I want to make this particular value here. How many times it's coming here? Now in the total transactions you will find 1, 2, 3. 3 times is coming. Out of total, how many times? 5 times. 3 by 5 into 100. So it must be 60%. That is your support. But confidence always go for another variable. Now bear to diaper. When bear is existence, the what is the confidence that the diaper will come? So that way we have to find out. Normally in our retail management, retail marketing, they have this kind of algorithms that we call market basket analysis, right? So in that they will find out if I am keeping one, suppose one item that is Maggie. So along with Maggie, which is more support and confidence level, we have to find out the items. We can put that items nearest to the Maggie. So now suppose in our transactions, we have several kind of items which is associated with Maggie, then we have to display the Maggie along with all associated more value of confidence and supports, whatever may be, you have to show the other items so that customer can buy Maggie along with other items which is more supported to this. So this can be done in this particular way. That is our algorithm. So in this case, we can have a priori algorithms. A priori means we have a kind of lattice on that, which is more frequently coming onto this. We have to keep, and the least support or confidence, whatever may be, we have to discard it. That means you have to prune from the most frequently items. So now that process we can go for the different algorithms for this. We have to prepare the most frequent items and we have to present. So this is the essence of your association. Then we can go for attribute selection, because a little bit I'm going fast because the time is running, right? So now I have to cover this part. Okay, attribute selection. So attribute selection means, as I told, you can go for attribute selection, which attributes you want to take and you want to go for, you can go for. There are so many algorithms for attribute selection in Weka. Now in this case, you can go for attribute selection process. Now you can go for attribute selections. Now here you can choose the algorithm based on attribute selection. We have all these algorithms for attribute selection. You can go for any attribute selection and you can put this process so that you can get, right? In this case, the selected attributes you can find out, okay? And you can get that which is more appropriate, more, you can change also parameters here. In algorithms also, there are so many things is there. Same similar kind of different functions of over here. You can go for and you can visualize. Under this, you can visualize your all aspect of visualize reduce data. So you can see how much data you can reduce. You can here resizes the jitters and point size also you can find out. So now this is a part of your Weka that is under GUI under your explore options. Now you can go for other options, which is very important. I wanted to share you. That is your next part. We call it what you call that is knowledge flow, right? Now you have to construct one knowledge flow. According to that, you can design your own. Now in this, you can go for CLI. CLI means command prompt. You can go for command based. I'll show you one if your time permits, right? Now, half an hour we can utilize for knowledge flow, which is very important. I'll show you. In the knowledge flow, what we can do, you can design your own data mining stages where you can put your own file and you can do analysis. Okay. So now we can move to this part. I'll open N1. Getting late. Just a minute. Yes. Now this is your interface where you can design your own data. Now what you can do, first you have to go for the basic idea how to design. I'll tell you, then only you can go for any type of design, right? Here we can go for first. Now, suppose CSV loader. Now we have different kinds of loader file, source file. In source, you have a number of sources, right? So you can have CSV loader, you can have ARIF loader. I can type here ARIF loader, ARFF, right? This is ARIF file for ARIF file. So similarly, you can have a number of sources file. Now, after clicking this, now this symbol will come, plus symbol. Now just put here, click here. Now this is your loader one we have done. Then we can go for class SNL, CLASS, class SNL. You can see here class SNL. You can click here, all options will come, but you can type here, it will be in. Now this is class SNL. Then you can go for validation properties. I can go for cross validation. Cross validation maker. This is another tools options you can go. I'm putting first all these options sequentially. What comes next? What comes next? By practicing, you can find out, right? Then you can go for, suppose I'm going for classification, right? So I can go for J48. You can put J48. You can go for classifications here, right? Then I can go for the C. I'm going for one by one. Now, next I can go for another one, classifier. Classifier performance, right? Classifier performance evaluate. So I can go for this one also. This process. Next we will have output of it. Now next I will go for output side. I'll show you details of how to do this. Graph graph viewer, graphics. J48 graphics must be there, so graphs must be. So out of classifier evaluator, I can go for another one, model options. Model performance. Okay. Model performance chart. I can put here model performance chart. So model performance chart, I can take another model performance chart. I can go for text here also. Text data, already we are seeing text viewer. Text viewer. Now, what type of things I'm doing here? You can see here. I can enlarge it. Now, these are my stages, right? Output stages. Now, this is my logics I have applied here. This is validation folder I'm making. Now, these are all set. Is it clear? Now, what I can do, you placed all the icons. It is available. Now, next you can go for particle connecting to this. So we have to move data set. So from RF loader, it must be having data. Click here. Yes, it is coming. Now data set. Next, you can go for right click on this. Again, from class assigner to validation, that must be data. Now from data, we can go for a classification, training data, because we are preparing the model, then testing data. Two things will be there. So here, two options will be there, training and testing. Clear enough? Now from this, we can go for training. The next one will check. Then in J48, we can go for graphics because we have a graphics option. Clear? Then we can go for classifier. Now we can go for here text type. We can connect to text type. Then we can go for text classifier to this. Okay. Then we can go for here also. You can text here also. You can put here. No problem. This can be deleted if you want to make it to delete. Then you can go for here. Graphics is done. Then you can go for threshold. Threshold from here. Then you can go for visualize errors. Like I have made all this. Now this is connectivity. If you don't want the J40 to this also, that will be okay, or it will be possible. Now you can go for this is how you have designed one. Okay. Now I have to add here file. How to add a file? Configuration. Here configure you will do. That means file you have to upload. Whatever the files you have, you can go for. Now, for example, I can go for which file? Now I resolve, for example, insert. Now this is uploaded, then okay. Now I have loaded this file to this RF loader because now I have to move this and I have to check my compiler whether it is correct or not. Now this is run command. You can go for run. Now check it. It will come. Okay, 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 finish. If it is problem, then it will show you the error in this particular status. Clear? Now I have designed one this and I have prepared this. Now in this output you can see. What is the output you can see here? Whatever the output we have seen, you can show the results of here. This is the output we have seen. See all the models, whatever the outputs it is showing. Now this is your J48. This is your different whatever you have done. It will come. Okay. Now I'll show you. This is for your graphs. What is the graphs? Tree graphs. So the plot. This is your plotting decision tree. So now this decision tree already you have constructed in GUI form. Now you have done your own form, right? So according to your requirements, you can design your own data flow and you can prepare, mining your data, right? So this is how this can be done. Now this is threshold data. You're going to go for show the chart. It will show you the chart. Now see, already I have shown you this chart also. This is threshold chart. You can change your threshold positions coordinate. You can find out, right? So this is how the knowledge flow helps you to design any kind of design here. So this design is your unique. That is not you are taking the secondary sources, internet. No, you can design your own. This becomes your own design. Data mining design. How you are designing, you can make a complex. Lots of options will come and you can go for this. Now you can go for error visualization. That's so. This is your error visualization. See, as I told, this error outliers are there. See, rectangular boxes, green boxes, all these are called missing values or something, some problems is there for your classifications or whatever. So now these are the values must be rectified from your end by using scientific methods or manually, whatever may be. You discard it, depends on your what you call preference, right? You can go for any kind of techniques, sophisticated techniques, so that there should not be any problem to your resultant. So when you are going for interpreting the results, you have to see very carefully these outliers, which is not coming to this year group or classifications or class. So you have to see. If you want to put some values, you can use some statistical analysis and put this value. So this is how this graphical manner you can design your own. There are so many things, so many available. I have designed so many things in this. So you can go for making this your own knowledge flow and you can save it. Now next is you will have the last part of your CLI. So this is CLI. CLI means command line interface. Here also you can put command and you can. So now you can prepare your command. Now I have for your reference, reference, I have given so many tasks here. Now you can go for one vertical command here. I'll take one command. Now this is a command script you can use for your mind. Now see here Java, because this particular Weka is developed through Java. So we have to use this package Java Weka.classifier. I'm using classification. Bayesian, naive Bayesians I'm using. Now this is the algorithm and this is the file I am accessing from my local PCs, right? So if you will run this file, right? So you will get this the same similar kind of analysis. See here, you are getting this there. Now this is for command prompt. You should know this particular syntax. You should know this particular statement command. So now there are so many commands we have. which gives you the similar kind of processing. This is called CLI, command line interface. And what we have done in graphical user interface in the pre-processing, that is pre-processing environment. And what is this? This is knowledge flow. So now these are all Weka facilities you can go for. Now all types of sources you can see here. I can show you what are the different options you have under data mining processes. Now sources, you have n number of sources. Create RF loader, C45 loader, CSV loader, database loader, then a JSONs loader, then a libsvm loader, MATLAB loader. All types of files you can load here. These are the sources you have. Then you have a links, and you have what you call data. That already we have a server you can create, or you can make any kind of. This is then a data generator. When we are going for generating, like you can have a classifier or a cluster that you can use here. So here all options you will. Then filter, you have filter options you use. Then if you go for a classifier, you have n number of classifier algorithms. All these options gives you different kinds of icons which can be created in the knowledge flow environment, and you can use this. So you can go for practice all this. Associations you will have a priori. So you can put a priori comes. If you put for a canopy, it will come. If you go for a hierarchical cluster, it will come. So these are all options you can use as per your logic. You can design your own design, and you can make analysis on this. So no one can restrict you to design your knowledge flow, right? So you can make any particular knowledge flow icons, and you can connectivity you can give. So this is how, with a limited time, I have explained. If you are understanding this is well and good, and if you are not further, if any doubts, you can contact me, and I can explain, or I can give you any type of things, right? So this is how, from my sides, all this Weka hands-on, and I might have I could have get a more what you call interactive if you might have used these particular things, so that it will be better for me. Now you didn't apply this, though I have done hands-on from my sides, but you didn't do anything, all participants, because I didn't get any response from you that you have installed this particular software. Otherwise, within 3 hours, you might have come across all these options, and you can add one tools in your experiences, right? That Weka has. And if you know, that's good. So that will be beneficial. This is very effective and very easy to use the tools, mining tools, because we have several miner like Oracle miners. We have so many softwares are there which we can use for mining techniques, but out of which I think it is very convenient and very useful for us in our day-to-day mining techniques. Okay. So with this, I would like to thank all the participants, those who are sincerely listening this particular FDP, and especially in the sessions and some practical of Weka. So I would like to thank organizers, those who have organizing this particular FDP, especially giving an opportunity to have interactions to you people on the data mining concepts and hands-on practical of Weka. So thanks to everyone. So this is up to you, sir. Banaji, sir.
Yes, yes. Any questions from the participants?
Yes. Any questions? Because I used to ask several times in my session, but still I'm not getting any questions. But thank you, those who have given text messages in the text box also. Yes, you can ask questions directly. Yes.
Yes, anyone? At least
Any
ask
participants? Just introduce, because we have I have finished before 5 minutes or 7 minutes before. Just at least we should interact with those who are faculty members from different institutions and universities. Please let me know. At least it's my request At least we should know about you and what are the expertise with you. Just will come to know, so that any future any requirements will have, we can contact easily. Those who are faculty members joined over here, and those who are students, if any new things is going on at your end, or you have done something, just share some views. And if you are not able to give any reply, at least interact. What's your name? I am working from this, or I am a student of this institution. Just to tell me, introduce yourself. 36 members, out of 36 members, a host and myself, if you remove only 30 students, at least the participants can interact with. It is going down the participants list. Why?
They are fill the form, sir. Feedback form. They completed feedback form. They are leaving.
Okay. So, yes. Anyone still you want to share something? And you are giving the responses in the feedback, but directly you can give responses that, sir, you didn't clear this particular idea, you are skipping this, you are so much fast. These things you can give, no? So we can enhance our sides also. We can rectify ourselves. What is going on, actually, you should share. You have a chance to interact, right? Because whenever I used to interact with what you call participants, no, I used to give freedom. You can give negative feedback and positive feedback on me, because when we will have some negative feedbacks, there is a chance to what you call modify ourselves from ourselves, right? There is a scope to enhance our knowledge and expertise. And if you give positive remarks, it will be helpful to promote us to take another sessions also with the full enthusiasm, right? So both things are required. It's not like always you should give positive remarks and facilitator will happy. No, it's not. You can give a suggestions also, sir. These things can be done from your side so that it will be more effective. Every time you can speak. There is no barrier on languages also. You can speak any languages I told, but we'll try to understand if it is other than English, right? Yes. So many things I told, but you are not opening your sides. Yes.
Well, sir, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, well, we are not going to leave you, sir. We will certainly catch hold of you. We, the fraternity of mechanical engineering, along with your biological science or biotechnology faculty,
Yes, sir.
will surely catch hold of you. We are not going to leave you henceforth. If you want
No,
to leave
no,
us, we won't leave you, sir.
No, no, I am asking
about, sir, please. Okay,
no, I'm not talking about host side. I'm talking about as a participant side. They should interact more.
Yes, yes. The more
And
if they do interact, right, it becomes more interesting, and they get to know, they get to learn something, sir. If we serve as new spectators, and if we keep on, if we pretend that we have got everything in one go, and by the end of the day or by we would not respond to any of, but if you do not make it interactive, it becomes useless. The entire exercise, the entire whatever you do becomes useless. Okay. The other day, among the participants, I'll say if they also serve as this hosts, okay, if they serve as resource persons on a fine occasion, and if they meet in such a, situation, sir, okay, what would be their feeling? What would they feel?
yes.
How would they feel? That they do need to think first of all. So anything, if we are investing some time for something, at least we should try to get something out of it. Otherwise, that becomes worthy of purpose. Otherwise, if nothing is being done, it simply becomes useless. The entire exercise becomes futile and useless. That we need to understand. And simply for certificates, and many programs are organized these days. We can register into any EA, and we can have many hundred number of certificates like that, and people also get like that. But what is the essence in it? It's not at all like worthy of purpose. So people need to understand that. I should say it. Mostly
If all participants are active now, one thing I wanted to share, because Sarah told so many things, one thing came to mind, that see, whenever we are having different kind of workshops or activities or any kind of what you call interactions process when we can share our what you call skills and expertises. That time there is obvious because we are last 5 days we are working. There may be lack of something that a session is not good or session is very excellent. Okay, so you have to be very careful, very what you call your involvement must be there fully so that you can find out okay this session is good because you cannot find always that every session must be excellent because it depends because we are having different collaborations because as a sir told he belongs to biology but he's coming to the artificial intelligence for engineering application, so it is a different discipline we are collaborating, right? So you cannot find that everything will be in the top level, okay, but we are trying to make these particular sessions more interactive, more usefulness and more what you call take away, you can take away more things out of it, but you have to interact with it, right? So all participants, it's my request those who are already in this particular sessions till the end, so I'm requesting whenever you are attending, yes sir,
Sir, please go ahead.
whenever you are attending please be sure that you have to interact. So sessions will be more interactive if you interact more. So now if you are not interacting, then how a particular facilitator can make effective interactions? So it's your duty to interact with you. Anything you can share with your ideas or something else. It's not like that you have to ask always a good question so that everybody should appreciate. It's not like that. And we should not think that always we should give a excellent stuff to you so that you can appreciate us. Sometimes it happens, depends on different circumstances, right? So you have to be interactive always. Yes sir, our team.
Actually, one thing I'll add here, sir, background homework is always required, sir. Whenever I'm, suppose I have planned to attend something, or I have attended already, the next day again I'm going to face the same resource person or another resource person who would continue with the work as the first resource person. I need to come up with a background homework, background EA, something, so that I'll have at least, okay, something to clarify. And at least I can learn something out of it. Okay, that is the prerequisite. And second thing is it's the age of collaborative research, sir. What I have found in this last 2 decades, maybe. So I have found that person confining to their own spheres or own fields do not thrive much, sir. Because the other day they are out of the scenario. It's the age of collaboration, collaborative research, unless different disciplines collaborate with each other and come up, when come forward to do some work, they cannot sustain. Okay, so the district competition prevailing everywhere. And if you do not collaborate, if different disciplines do not merge with each other and do some work, okay, the other day will be thrown out of the scenario. And it is happening, it has happened, and it will happen as well. Okay, so the time is already come, the time is approached. So we should be all aware of these things. Sir, coming to your sir, now coming to your deliberation, I mean coming to your talk. Just, sir, I was absent for a couple of minutes because there were some students, master students who were to present the thesis, pre-EA thesis, so I had to attend that because 200 students are there. I was not here for 1 hour. Just I'll ask you one thing, sir. Sir, as far as data mining is concerned, prior to mining the data, as a layman I'm asking, sir, prior to mining the data, or if we have some we need to have some raw data with us, sir. Suppose you said we'll mine the data. Okay, so we need to have some raw data, raw information, sir, before we go for mining the data.
Yes, sir. As I told, if you have a raw data means what? What type of data you have, like in the which format, which extensions you have. Raw data means if you are writing something, it cannot be processed. One thing. So it must be initial stage. It must be one format. As I told, several formats so you can go for, right?
Yeah.
Like we have RF extension. Extension I was talking about at the beginning. So extensions file, that means if you have an Excel file, XLS extension, if you have a DOS file, DOC file. Now that depends that you have to make a proper format so that the system can accept it first. Now we are doing the mining the data. The data may be valid or invalid or missing, whatever we call it, it is raw type data. If you are thinking that, if you are talking about raw data, means with respect to the different data types, right, different format of data, that may be there is a need of making some format data. The second way, if your data is in the particular family like extensions, like it may be CSV or RAF or textile or flat file manner. So that can be, you have to see, as I told at the beginning, you have to see these are the data extensions the Weka supports. There are so many mining tools that supports other formats also. But we are in this particular sessions, we have restricted that Weka we are going to teach, right? So that's why in when we are using Weka, that means you have to see there should be RF file, there should be CSV file, there should be database file, DB file, there should be binary file. Nowadays, no one is using binary file, right? If other than this file is there, your duty is to, as a raw data you are talking about as per your what you call terminology. So that raw data must be in the format with respect to the extension.
Yes, yes.
Once extension is there, no?
We need to first convert it. The raw data has to be
Yes,
converted
yes,
to a
yes,
particular
yes,
form.
exactly,
Only
exactly.
then it can be taken forward for analysis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once it is in the extension format, no. So any type of data can be, you can find out whether maybe thousands of misuse is there, incorrect value is there. It is duties of Weka, he will find out.
Yes, sir. So, okay, so certainly we'll have a discussion regarding some biological data or maybe some other data also. Okay, we'll certainly have a
Definitely, sir.
discussion
Definitely.
in the other
No
forum.
problem.
I mean, in the offline platforms, we'll
Okay, no
discuss it.
problem, no problem,
Sir,
no problem.
And certainly we'll go ahead with this. No more stopping, sir. We'll certainly proceed with this work. I assure you, and I
Yes.
promise you also.
Okay.
Thank you so
Okay,
much, sir,
sir.
for such a nice deliberation presentation.
Thank
And I
you.
hope
Thank you,
the participants will also collaborate with sir or try to collaborate because, sir, you must have given your mail ID or our this.
No, I didn't give. Okay, okay. So you can share
You
also,
can type it in the
or I can put in the
chat box. You can put it in the chat
chat
box.
box.
Or
Okay.
sir will be
This
sharing,
is
sir. Our Banerjee
okay.
sir will be sharing the details of resource persons at the end with the participants. There they will find the mail ID.
No problem, no problem. I will write also.
Sir, would you mind sharing your materials at the last material of the last session? I mean, the material.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this
Because
session.
it is a because it is a huge slides, no. So you can take from pen drive and all the things. It will be possible to send this. Otherwise, in mail, no, it is too difficult because a huge size. Near about 70, 80 pages are there, and huge content images are there. No.
Yes, yes.
So I'll send to Banaji sir on pen drive, or they can take. No problem.
Okay, sir. We'll take it from him, sir. And so again, participants, if you have any questions or if you have something, okay, you can any doubts, something now you can talk to sir. Sir will be there for the next 1 minute, or else you can connect with sir. Okay, in his mail ID. So sir,
I'm sharing also textbook. Text that I'm sharing.
Your mail ID, na, sir?
Mail ID and mobile number I have given.
Okay,
check it, everyone can get.
Yes, yes, I am able to see, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sir, and well, sir, on behalf of each member of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, I, Dr. Kumar Panda, would thank you profusely. Would like to thank you profusely for the valuable time that you have spared and for the nice and simple mode of presentation. The simplest way you made it more simpler, sir. Really, for people or for laymen like me, I found it very simple. Okay. And sir, most of the time, if we are a bit savvy with the technology, what I found, sir, I found it's just like plug and play. You can plug and just play around. Okay. Hopefully, you'll end up getting some productive information. But you need to have some background knowledge on the technique that is involved. Yes, that is what. So, well, it must have been highly enriching for everyone. Each of the participants, where many have skipped the platform, I can see. But still, those who are there, I'm telling, it must have been okay. Very, very knowledge worthy and enriching also. So, thank you, sir. And on behalf of each one of the organizers and the members of mechanical department, thank you profusely for sparing your time. doing this presentation. Thank you so much. We'll surely connect with you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, you can now wind up, sir. No issues. You can wind up.